Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early January 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective in their birthday season, might I add. Let's get it going here. My God, so what do we have for the Cappies as we start a brand new calendar year? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you queen into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cappies in early January. What is the vibe? It's a brand new year. What's happening? Let's get this energy out nice and quick for you. Okay, and I definitely want to follow up on some of the energies we were seeing last week, because it was a little bit here, there, and everywhere. But oh, I like this. This is nice. I feel like this is a nice balanced energy. You see all that symbolism there. Now, this can be really good depending on the situation you're in, because it's like, okay, things are starting to come into balance. Things are starting to come into focus, which can be good. Hopefully, it's not swinging the other way. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, there's a lot of Libra symbolism here. So if you're connected to Libra in any way, shape, or form, maybe they're playing an important role in with whatever it is you're going through right now, but that doesn't have to be the case. What are some of the archetypes we think of with Libra? It literally has the sign. It has a yin-yang. This reminds me of the Two of Pentacles quite a bit. So there's a really positive aspect to this card, but there's also some challenges. Now, when it comes to Libra, it's usually like fair, balance, balancing the scales, making wrongs right, or just making sure things are mellow. It's like a nice even keel type of energy. So for a lot of you, this could be really great. If you've been going through any tribulation or anything, it's like, no, I'm mellow, I'm focused, I'm on the right track, which I think is a really nice vibe. But this energy, similar to the Two of Pentacles, it could represent being very busy, juggling a lot of things, because this person's juggling like the Two of Pentacles. So for some Cappies, maybe you're just like extra busy, lots of stuff on your plate, talking to a lot of people. There's a lot of things in the works, which again doesn't have to be a bad thing. Everyone knows Capricorn energy is usually highly motivated, so I feel like this can be very good. We're just going to leave it down there for now. We're going to see what shows up with the tarot cards. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's see what we have for the Cappies in early January 2025, please. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Like I said, it was a little here, there, and everywhere. The reading was titled Explosive Action Incoming. It was extremely fired up. Now, I will say this. A lot of the zodiac this week and last week have been seeing very similar things, whether it is an action you're about to take, an action someone else is about to take. Maybe it is motivation. Like I said, the high motivation with the first card factors in. So for some of you, you might be full steam ahead, ready to hit something nice and clean, if that makes sense. But we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for the Cappies in their birthday season. Happy birthday to you, my friends. What is going on there? Okay, yeah, there's that fired up type of energy. Interesting. All right, so 2 cards popped out together. We do have the 5 of Wands in position number 1, and that is a lot of the archetypes we've already been covering, where, yeah, this could be really good and motivated, but at the same time, it could be conflict-based, just very fired up. However, the next card over, totally different. We have the Hanged Man in position number 2. So it's like either bringing something to a halt or letting something mellow out. Let's get one more out here, and we'll really start piecing this picture together. Okay. Hanged Man gets a bit of a bad reputation, but it's not a bad card. Okay. With the Ace of Pentacles on the back end, I really like this here for some reason. Now, let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, I feel like this is an energy a lot of Capricorns could vibe with this week. Elementally, and you know I like to look at the elements first, I feel like they're very important. We're starting off with fire. And we have this strong earthy. When I see the Hanged Man, that's like Virgo, Scorpio. Some people even give it to Pisces, but I feel like it's a very earthy, set type of energy. Same with the Ace of Pentacles. And you are a very powerful earth sign. So these are energies where it's like, I'm comfortable with this, or I could work with this, or I could make this work. So initially I'm feeling like this is okay, especially how the energy seems to improve. It's like very conflicted. There's a little pause, and then it picks back up in a really positive way. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out, because there is a progression of the energy. There is a shift or a change in place. Position number one, we are starting with the Five of Wands. And I always say with this card, you don't have to be an expert in tarot to understand what this means. We see the five people, they're beating the tar out of each other with sticks. They're going to war, they're going to battle. Now, I always mention every card has positives and challenges. So let's go through a couple. What are some of the challenges of the Five of Wands? Very, very conflicted. So whether it's conflicted emotions, conflicted feelings, literal conflict between people, of course, that could be it. And sometimes this card can be a warning. I think of aggression. I think of a lot of push, a lot of oomph. So for a lot of you, I mean, this could lean into the positive aspects, because this could be a very determined type of card where it's like, nothing's going to stop me. Nothing's going to get in my way. I have my mindset and I will achieve what I want. So that could be good. I guess, again, it depends on whatever your situation is. But yeah, there's an aggression to it. It could be someone that's really in the feelers and very fired up. Now, another thing that does show up here, it can represent problems and situations, because Five of Wands is like spirit throwing like one thing after another after another. However, as we move forward into the reading, we have the Hanged Man, where the energy does seem to take either a step back or it mellows down to me. The Hanged Man, I already mentioned the zodiac signs, Scorpio, Virgo. Some people give it to Pisces. It's a retracted, pulled back energy, very similar to the Hermit. As you see, not much happening here. This person's just hanging out, watching something. This is one of the watchers of the tarot deck as well. So when I see the Hanged Man, I think of, all right, analyzing something, or a lot of analysis. There could be certain situations where it's like, all right, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to get down to the root of this. For some of you, maybe that's what you need to do. Like, all right, where did it start? How did it begin? Let's get to the root of an issue or a problem. That could be nice. This could be a very strategic, plan-based type of energy as well. And it could just represent something you need to keep an eye on as well, or something that needs your attention, some sort of situation. Now, it also could represent self-sacrifice, maybe putting the needs of others ahead of yourself, sacrificing your happiness for other people. But in the issue category, the Hanged Man is not moving. It could be very stubborn. It could be delays. It could be blockages. So it really depends on what shows up in the clarifier. But I feel like this is good, because the energy goes like fired up, fired up. Let's stop. Let's pause this for a second. Let's collect ourselves, which does feel nice. Now, moving to the very back end, while I get this tucked in right there by the Five of Wands, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful, one of my favorite cards in the whole entire deck. I always say all aces represent offers. They represent opportunities. Aces also deal with communication or messages. So it's interesting the way the energy flows here. From an issue could come something great. Now, for some of you, this could be talking something out. It could be offers, of course. Now, the one thing I always say about aces, this is great for money and work and career as well. So for a lot of you, there might be good news in that realm. But an issue that comes with aces is that it's not a fully developed energy yet. It's still fresh. It's very new. It represents new things. But it's like, all right, you need to seize the day. This is like a limited time type of energy where it's like, all right, you got to make this happen, or you have to push it a little bit. I'm not going to say it's false opportunities or anything like that, but just with the progression of the energy and the way everything's flowing here, I feel like this could be really good, or a good end result. So I want to dive deeper on all the Capricorn. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my friends. Let's see what's happening on guides and spirit team. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Five of Wands. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cappy, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Five of Wands time. Let's see what this is. Let's see what this is, please. Thank you. All right. You might really have to get involved in something to like make it stop. That is such a peculiar energy. Now, for some of you, with judgment in reverse, I'm getting like several different messages here initially. When I see judgment in reverse, this does talk about things returning or flaring back up. So when I see this connected, it's like, all right, well, it's not done yet. Or it's giving me like, oh, here we go again. So whether this is like career, health, you name it, I feel like there could be something that flares back up or returns in a very big way when I see this energy together. But for another portion of you, there could be stuff going on like in your peripherals, right? Like not stuff that you're dealing with yourself. It could be people you're connected to. So there is a potential for you to get pulled into other people's stuff, or you having to step in, or having an outsider step into your situation. That's the vibe it's giving me here. So it's like an interesting mixture of stuff. Now, judgment does represent change when it's in the upright. It's Plutonian. It represents metamorphosis. And I did already say we do see changing energy here throughout the main part of the spread. So when I see this, another message I could give is like delays. Again, we have a problem showing up here where it's like, all right, well, I'm still dealing with this. Or here we go again. It's giving me that type of energy. So we'll see. We're going to see if the energy continues to shift and change. So we'll talk about that more during the recap. So once again, yeah, it could be a problem. It could be a return of some sort. And yeah, it could be a situation where you need to get involved or get someone else involved. There's like someone from the outside. But let's move over to the Hanged Man. Let's see what that has to say. Yeah, because judgment in reverse, it could be stoppages as well. But let's go in on that Hanged Man. Thank you. Yeah, I need some time to think. Need some time to like really mull something over or plan something. Okay, now the Seven of Cups to me is usually a very positive card. It does tie in directly with the realm of thought, imagination, mulling something over. And I said it here about the Hanged Man. It's a retracted, pulled back. It's not acting physically, but it's analyzing something. So I feel like for a lot of Capricorns, there could be a situation that you're dealing with or that pops up where you should not have a knee-jerk reaction, where Spirit could be telling you like, take a breath. You don't have to respond right away, or you don't have to act right away. Give this a second to breathe, because there are multiple pathways for you to accomplish something here, which I feel like is really nice. Now, if this Seven of Cups was in reverse, I'd be a little more concerned, because then I'd be like, oh, well, not many options here. But in the upright, I feel like this is awesome. Now, if this isn't you, if this is somebody else, it is giving me the vibe of someone that just needs a little time to think, or it's like, I need to think about something. I need to either plan this, there could be planning going on, or just mulling it over. There's a lot of mental action showing up here in the center, which I think is a good route. So whatever it is you're dealing with, whether it's a good thing, whether it's a rough thing, I feel like no knee-jerk reactions if possible. Okay, so just mull it over. Think about it. Give it a good think or two. Let's keep moving. Let's see what's happening here. And we'll go in on that Ace of Pentacles, then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So far, I'm feeling pretty neutral. I'm cautiously optimistic about your energy this week. It's not as fired up and wild as it was last week, though. But let's see why that Ace of Pentacles is here. Why do we got that Ace of Pentacles? Please. Thank you. Eight of Swords. All right, so there is someone that really needs to get something off their chest. Not saying it's you. When I see the Eight of Swords, it's like feeling a little trapped. It's feeling like it's in a corner. It's very stressed, anxious, nervous, all those things. And when I see it in the upright underneath the Ace of Pentacles, it's like someone has something they need to get off their chest. So for some of you, this could be an important talk or a serious talk that we're seeing right here on the back end. However, I still see a change in the energy. So if you are going through any problematic things or whatever pops up, whatever arises, I feel like, all right, there is a pathway to something positive. So I feel like that's a really good thing. And another thing I do say about the Eight of Swords, it's very fast moving. It's not delays. It's an energy that as soon as it pops up, it can go as quick as it comes in. So there is problem resolution here for any of you that are going through issues where it's like, yeah, after this little thought process, it's like, now I know how I'm going to move forward. There's a lot of clarity on the back end here, but it does tie into communication. So again, I feel like for a lot of you, there is someone that needs to get something off their chest, and they're going to feel a lot better when they do. Okay, so whether it's you talking to somebody about something or vice versa, it's just giving me a venting type of energy or a talk of importance. And so there's a lot of stuff happening here, but like I said, this is good. It feels like problem resolution to me, and it feels like clarity coming in. So if there's any situation you've been dealing with where there's lack of clarity or confusion or anything like that, I feel like the clarity will come in. Let's go through and do a quick recap, because I feel like the energy is moving in a positive direction. But if you kindly look in the box before we get to the shadow card, position number 1, we are starting with the Five of Wands, Judgment in reverse. I did say that could be several things. For some of you, this could be something returning. It's like giving me, here we go again, like, all right, here we go. So whether it's like dealing with an individual or a situation you're familiar with, like it pops back up and it's coming in hot. That's kind of how this feels to me. For a portion of you, yeah, this could be a bit of a problematic energy we see here on the front end, but I don't think you need to really rush to solve it. To me, it's like, all right, it pops up, take a breather, take a second. And we see that as we move forward. Now, there is a shift in the energy as we go. Position number 2, we have the Hanged Man with the Seven of Cups, someone needing some time to think or mull something over. So watch out for knee-jerk reactions. Don't feel like you have to act on something super quick. It's like, just think about it a minute. Strategize, plan. Either that or that's what somebody else is doing. There could be some planning going on. On to the back end, we have the Ace of Pentacles with the Eight of Swords in the upright. Big problem resolution. A lot of clarity could be coming in for a good chunk of you, but this could also be an important talk that someone feels the need to have to get something off their chest. So overall, I feel the energy moves better. It's much more conflicted here in the front. It's like we have the conflict, and we have this little pause, and then this communication comes in. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you, my friends. Well, let's get a good shuffle here for the Cappies. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get your one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going. One shadow card. Quick, nice and fast, very first shuffle. All right, we do have the Knight of Cups, and again, this is an agreeable energy to the Capricorn collective. Now, for the portion of you that might be going through like interpersonal connections and relationship things, this guy does tie into that. Could be a water sign you're connected to as well. But generally, I see the Knight of Cups as a very good energy. It's emotionally expressive, kind of like what we see here on the back end, having a communication. There's a lot of offers that come with this Knight of Cups as well. But the shadow side of the Knight of Cups could be extremely emotional. All right, it could be very up and down, heightened emotion. Worst case scenario could be someone that like plays off another person's emotions, where there's like a little emotional manipulation. I'm not saying that's the case. So just know in this time, either you might be a little more lovey-dovey than you normally are, a little more sentimental, or just up and down with the emotions when the Knight of Cups is here. So we're going to put him down right there. He could chill out by the crystals. And yeah, Capricorn, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the January subscriber surprise. If you would like to get a personal reading from me and get a little forecast for what 2025 has in store for you, you can check out my website and digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com to look for availability. But for the January subscriber surprise, we are once again giving away 3 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what is your main goal for the 2025 calendar year? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab as usual, my friends. Much love, and I'll see you soon.